When you get pulled over at the end of the month, is it a coincidence or are officers trying to meet a quota? The recent leak of an email from the Florida Highway Patrol was an aha moment for many. ABC's Jess Dowdrick has more.
It's a touchy subject for a lot of law enforcement agencies, many of them declining to speak to me about the issue. Now, while there may not be official ticket quotas for most departments, officers may still be feeling the pressure to write more tickets.
It's a known fact that we don't have a quota system.
Florida Highway Patrol has been on damage control since August, when an email from Major Mark Welch was leaked to the public. The email told troopers, quote, "The patrol wants to see 2 citations each hour." It went on to say, "This is not a quota. It is what we are asking you to do to support this important initiative." Welch attached a report that showed that troopers were only issuing an average of 1 ticket an hour, saying, quote, "We have a goal to reach." Welch and another trooper then took early retirements. A third member of FHP was suspended for 3 days. The whole organization taking criticism ever since, with the executive director of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles defending the department.
They have never been disciplined. They have never been evaluated. There's been no punitive damage. They've never been rewarded for strictly writing citations. They know that they have a job to do because their job is public safety, and our job is to go out and save lives.
It brings the question to the forefront. Do local law enforcement officers have quotas to meet? Many law enforcement agencies declined to comment on the issue, including Sarasota Police Department and the Sarasota Sheriff's Office. Both agencies say they do not have quotas. Having a quota is actually illegal in the state of Florida.
The state over a decade ago addressed this with the Waldo law and indicated that state agencies and others were not permitted to establish citation quotas or anything like that. So we've never had that policy here. We just don't do that.
The Waldo bill was passed in 2015 after the Waldo Police Department, formerly stationed northeast of Gainesville, disclosed their quota system that accounted for half of the city of Waldo's revenue. Longboat Key Police Chief Peter Cumming oversees 20 officers. He says his department never has and never will have a quota system.
It's against the law to do it, and we enforce the law. We don't violate it, and it makes no sense for anybody to have a quota. The departments don't benefit from that kind of thing.
Chief Cumming has been in law enforcement for years, formerly working for the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. He's also traveled throughout his career, seeing many other departments. Cumming says he doesn't remember any department ever working with a quota system, even before the Waldo bill. He says at Longboat Key Police Department, they don't keep track of how many tickets officers give out. Each officer has a certified radar unit in the car for speeders, but we monitor traffic as a routine part of what we do, and if we see a violation, whether it's speeding or whether it's another infraction, we'll stop the vehicle and make the appropriate move, whether it's a citation or a warning. The money generated from tickets given out by his department, Cumming says, goes directly to a state general revenue fund, not back into the department. But that's not the case everywhere.
Smaller municipality, a great deal of their budget can come from traffic tickets.
Greg Arnold, Criminal Justice Program Manager for the State College of Florida Manatee Sarasota campus, spent decades in law enforcement before becoming a professor. He says there is some pressure that exists when it comes to writing tickets.
Sometimes they can be implied to a degree, like, well, how many tickets did you write this week kind of deal. Says, well, a couple, and that kind of deal.
Arnold says there are in fact other Waldos out there, but not locally in the Sarasota-Bradenton area.
Some agencies really don't want the officers to write tickets, especially smaller sheriff's department, because they're voters. So, you know, you start writing your locals a lot of tickets, then they don't get votes anymore.
In the past, Arnold says officers would have their performance measured by the number of tickets they wrote or even how many arrests they made. But that's not the case anymore. Arnold says the funding from our local agencies does go to the state, not back into the law enforcement budgets.
When you get a ticket now, it's broken into so many factors. A little go here, a little go there, driver improvement, this, that, and the other. But in some ways, they will get back into a city budget, but not into the law enforcement budget.
So if you get pulled over near the end of the month, it seems that it's more of a coincidence, not part of a quota.
Now, every department is different, so Chief Cumming and Professor Arnold cannot speak for every department throughout the state. However, it is illegal in Florida, and departments should not be doing it. Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.